Hey guys, and welcome to another speed build video. So I don't know if you saw in the title, but this will be the first part of two parts because this is a very large house and it would become a very long video if I had to just make it all in one go. So for this I wanted to make a large family home, which is something I rarely do. This is the first and the biggest home I've ever built, and it was simply because I really wanted to just try to see, because I've always been afraid of trying because I was afraid it was going to be too empty. So I had some ideas and I had drawn out some rooms before I started just to make sure that I had a clear idea in mind before I started. So that is what I did. And the real challenge with this home was that I kind of knew how I wanted the living room to look before I started. And that kind of made me have to work around some different hurdles because I really wanted the living room to be like a two-story living room where you could basically look up onto the second floor where there was like a railing. So yeah, I had that clear in my mind that I wanted to do that. So okay, moving on. This house contains 2 bedrooms, 1 master bedroom, and 4 bathrooms. So a 3 bedroom, 4 bath home. And I could have fitted in another bedroom, but then I would have gone away from my fantasy and my dream of having a 2-story living room. So unfortunately there's only 2 bedrooms, but you could always expand upwards, or the kids could easily share the bedrooms. So hopefully that would work out. But yeah, now I just divided up the rooms to see if I could make it work. And I don't know if you can see it, but 2 of the bedrooms have their own bathrooms, and then there's like a family bathroom on the top floor as well. And there's also a bathroom downstairs, just because you don't want to walk up the stairs if you really got to go to the bathroom, do you? So right now I'm putting on the roof, and putting on roofs when your room looks like this is really hard. I was spending so much time on just trying to figure out what roof could work without it going through the walls. So I just ended up putting 3 separate roofs on the roof all together to make this weird shape of a roof, which kind of worked, and it didn't go through the walls, so I was happy. And now I'm putting on the roof of the garage slash carport, or whatever you call it, which, even though there are no cars in The Sims 4, it adds to the realism to make room for a car. If it eventually is added, please add cars. I mean, it would be really nice. This part of the roof was really challenging because I had like this semicircle kind of thing going on for the living room, and in The Sims 4 you can't have the octagon roofs as you could in The Sims 3. So it was a lot of placing and removing and placing back because it had to kind of look like a actual circle, but on the other hand it was really challenging because some of the diagonals were a bit wider than the normal roofs were, but I felt like it went pretty okay with what I ended up with. I mean, probably in the future I'm gonna try to stay away from those types of rooms because the roofs are just, yeah, they're so impossible to fit on. So after I was done with the roof, I moved on to the front door and the windows, and I really wanted to see if I could find like a front door with matching windows because some of the windows just don't have any matching partner for doors. And I ended up going for this front door with the first floor windows, but the thing is, I couldn't use the windows I used on the first floor on the second floor because there were some parts where the roof would have covered some of the windows, so I ended up going for another similar window or something that could kind of work with the rest. But yeah, it would have been nice if I had some more, if there were more like windows that had like matching doors, because I feel like there's like a lot of windows but there are not a lot of doors that match to them, so you have to be really lucky to find like something that works all right. And as you can see, I added large windows for the living room, and that is because that was part of my mental image of the living room, it being 2 stories and having like windows from the floor to the ceiling, I guess. Because there are like a lot of pictures on Pinterest where they have that, and I just think it looks so nice, especially if it's like raining. You just have like this big space and a lot of natural light coming in, and yeah. I don't know, I just really liked it. So that's part of my mental plan of this home, was having that living room with those windows. And now I'm just putting in some vegetation out front. And I really wanted to focus on my yards this time because I've noticed I tend to neglect that. And I really wanted this house to look nice both from the outside and from the inside. So I wanted to try to prioritize that this time. And I went for a lot of lavender. And I don't know, I just really liked how it looked. It felt like it looked like really natural. It wasn't like too cartoony, because some of the plants in The Sims 4 are like really colorful and a little bit too colorful sometimes to be like on the brink of being unrealistic. But the lavender, I feel like, is a sweet spot in between, even though it is The Sims 4, and I mean, it is a video game, so I guess it is unrealistic, but you can dream, and that is what I do. So I'm just putting in the vegetation out front, and I'm putting in a little gate to the backyard because I wanted them to be separate. So also, if you had children, they could just run around in the backyard and you didn't have to be afraid of them running away, or if you had a pet or something. So yeah, that's why I kind of closed it off there. And right now I'm making the outdoor seating section with a barbecue and like yeah, a little covered seating section. And I also add in these couches that were from the patio stuff pack, I think it was called. And yeah, I really like those because they are outdoor furniture, and I really want, when I eventually get a home, I really want there to be like outdoor couches, because it just seems so nice to have somewhere outside you could just relax and just lie down. So yeah, I'm just adding in the some decor for outside and putting in some trees. Again, I normally neglect the backyards and the front yards, so I had a whole new, I don't even know how to say it. Like, I had a whole new world of vegetation and plants and trees that I'd never really used before. So that was really fun to look at all the options. And now I'm just putting out some light out front because if it is realistic, you would need some light outside. And I don't know if you just saw, but I just made the yard a little bit smaller because the lot I chose to build it on was a little bit too huge for my taste, and it would have been too empty if I just used it all. So I just ended up by cutting off a little bit to make it fit the house more. And I also put in a basketball court because this house actually ends up getting like a baby girl's room and then a teenage room, and I can imagine the teenager would play basketball, so I added that outside. Then I also added the pool, as you can see, and I also end up putting in a jacuzzi as well because I had never used the jacuzzis before, and I felt like I might as well this time. So I'm just putting in like a jungle gym and a tree, and unfortunately there are not any more playground objects. I would have put in some more if there were any, but it just ends up being like just a big open space, which can also be nice if you want to run around and play around and stuff like that. So now we're moving inside, and I had the layout planned in my head as to where I wanted what, and I am trying to figure out if there's enough space for everything that I want to be there. And I'm putting in the lights, and because I have a 2-story living room, I can put in these big lights you got with Sims 4 Dine Out, which I was really happy about because I've never found a use for them until now, and it ended up looking really good, so I'm happy that I did that. And now I'm putting in the floors, and I wanted wooden floors everywhere except for the kitchen. And for the kitchen, I had gotten some inspiration I'd seen on Pinterest and some different places, so I kind of had that in mind, which is why there's like this wooden paneling on one of the walls, because that was something I saw and it looked really nice, so I wanted to see if I could incorporate that into my Sims 4 build. And I'm placing the counters now so that they are like aligned with the windows, because I wanted to put a sink like by the window, and as they were before, they were kind of just looking into the walls, so I ended up just moving them a nudge so I could fit that in and do it as I had imagined it would be. And now I'm putting in these large cabinets next to the fridge, and I'm putting in the stove. And because I had the wood paneling, I felt it was okay. I used like one of these wooden, what's it called, like fans over the, like a hood oven hood thing. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, I felt like I could finally use the wooden ones because they look really nice, but I've never found a kitchen where it would look like it fit in. But I felt like it went really well with this one, especially after I added in this chalkboard. I felt like it would be cute to have like a chalkboard in the kitchen so you could write down if like what's for dinner or if there's something you're missing and you need to go out and buy and stuff. I thought it looked really nice and I thought it would be a cute idea to have. And I'm just adding this large, very large cabinet for, plates and glasses and stuff. Because normally when I build it in The Sims, I never really think about that. I always just think about it being in the kitchen. But now that you have such a big now that you have such a big kitchen, you might as well have some space, especially for that. So now I'm playing around with the dining room and to see if there was anything I could do there. And I ended up going with a kind of yellow and white theme because I'd never really done that before. And I ended up putting in a fireplace even though it's on the wrong side of the chimney. I just thought it really fit in with the dining room, so I put that in, but I forgot to add the second chimney. I was going to do that, but I totally forgot. I'm just remembering it now that I'm looking over the footage. But yeah, I wanted to add some decoration, and I ended up going for these cherry flowers, I think, in yellow, because they went well with the yellow theme for the kitchen and the dining room, not the kitchen, sorry. And now for the hall. Since it was a very large, grand hall, I kind of didn't want to clutter it too much because there were not really that many walls I could put anything against without it kind of sticking out. So I ended up going for this like under the stair closet thing that I came up with. And in the end it worked out really well. I ended up removing that wall and putting these sticks, I don't know what they're called, these like tall railings in. So you kind of can look through so it wasn't too dark in there. And yeah, it ended up, like, it turned out really well. I felt like it was a pretty nice solution because it wouldn't be like cluttery. It's kind of hidden away. Now we're almost at the end of the first part of this build. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and the link to the second part will be at the end of this video. But that was it for this part, so thank you guys, bye!